2, 3. Hangout is on air. Got my two good buddies in here, Santa Cruz and Richie. And a new buddy. What's your name again? Alex. He likes whiskey. He's not sure why yet.
That's right.
But he brought a bottle over to share. We're waiting for Ian, who, as you met yesterday, if you weren't around, Ian is Scotch on the Rock on Facebook because he lives on the rock in Newfoundland. Wednesday Night Live is right, buddy. I try to get him in when I can, and it helps kill some of the time while we're up here in our lonely little lives. This guy's wife and kids are already in bed back in Ontario. Then there's my buddy Know Your Whiskey, another great man from the rock. Just happens that he lives in the capital of Newfoundland called Fort McMurray. He's an extremely generous fella. You guys take any time you get to look him up on Instagram, Know Your Whiskey. Awesome, buddy. Glad to hear that we got good picture and quality. Yesterday, we started off a little dicey because I was trying to use the Wi-Fi they provide here, which I'm not sure. Is it any good for anything?
No.
Are you a gamer?
No. Stocks, but no. It's not very good for that.
Stock market. Is that just, that's a game too, ain't it?
Basically.
Yeah?
It's live.
What kind of whiskey should we start with? We can't wait for Josh forever. Or Josh. Josh is, well, I don't know if he's a gentleman, but he is generous. We're going to give this guy, we're going to keep it blind to this young fella behind me.
It's Japanese. Come on.
I saw your thing. Yeah, big sale at the liquor depot because they're trying to clear out some room for their marijuana dispensary. So I'm going to hide this because this guy's new and he's never tried this before.
I've had this one.
Oh, you have?
Yeah, coffee green.
Oh, yeah, son of a beach. I thought it was the other one you were talking about.
No, I've had that one. That's good.
And you liked it?
Oh, yeah, that's good.
So you brought us some Ura. Now, what made you decide to buy Ura, 10-year-old?
You can't find it in Ontario.
You can't find Ura in Ontario?
No, I couldn't. Not where I live.
Where do you live again?
Little Britain, Port Perry.
Little Britain, Port Perry. Is that north?
Yeah, northeast of Toronto.
Northeast of Toronto.
Now north of Oshawa.
You're not in the 6 boroughs. Whiskey in the 6. Who's that guy?
Yeah.
It's Boba Fett. We're live.
Cool.
Everybody that didn't meet Mo's, gentlemen. Good evening, gentlemen, he says. Yeah, you know what? That 20, yeah, numbered 1. So how many more of them were there? And I was going to ask you. So Know Your Whiskey says there's a big sale at Liquor Depot in Fort Mac.
Cool.
That was a duty-free exclusive or a Liquor Depot exclusive, Josh. And it's a 25-year-old. Didn't know it existed. The others are numbered 2. Yeah, only one. You're a dirty, rotten, sneaky bugger.
Mm-hmm.
Here, what do you want?
Whiskey.
You want whiskey, please? Whiskey. You heard of whiskey in a teacup? Well, we're doing it in a coffee cup.
Cheers.
Cheers. This is better than doing other stuff in camp. I know you would be happy to drink it with me. What were the other ones that were the Tomatin up on the shelf?
Cheers.
Cheers, guys. I like these guys, and I just met them. Bourbon, Blind, Kyle, how you doing? Hey, you got to run. You just got here. We're drinking some coffee grain, although I don't think I washed my cup out because this had some Irish beer in it last night. Irish, Japanese. All right, Kyle, thanks for coming in for a second, buddy.
Like a Chinese Newbie.
Oh, but 257 bottles. Same whiskey. What I'm asking you, Josh, is it was a Liquor Depot exclusive. That's why you never saw them anywhere. I'm pretty sure that's what that was. And am I doing justice to Swami's t-shirt? I think we all should have one of these. I'm pretty sure this is what it would look like. Stretch it out. Dad life. I would know. I've never had any kids. Whiskey Alter. How's it going? Starbuck. You've seen the others all the time. Okay. 10-4. You bought.
It's good. I've had it before. It's really good.
You've had it before. What haven't you had?
On your table here?
Well, those are hidden. I'm trying to hide them. Yeah. Not working too
I've
good.
had quite a bit. Looking at your collection.
257's around, not the 157. So, okay, I'll see the label. Take a picture and send me the label. I got a big thing on my forehead. My hands are taking a beating on this job. Look at that. Hey, guys. My Julia is not here to take care of me. Oh, there is. Okay. Well, maybe tomorrow night. Who wants to go into town and look at liquor?
I'm in.
All right. I got 3 guys. Who's got a truck?
I'll have one tomorrow.
You do?
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
Possibly.
Well, if
we'll
we
get
do,
this out
then
tomorrow. Don't worry. We'll get
don't worry. Then we don't have to use our own
Make sure we
fuel.
have the keys to the van again.
No, we're not taking that.
Why not?
So how much are we bringing back?
Exactly. Be ambitious.
Anything we don't want to bring back, I'm pretty sure I have a place that we could save it safely until we leave town. Is that all right with you? Let me know. Malt are on the top to buy list. Yes, Richie, they should be. I don't know if I've never tried the malt. I have. Well, who was asking me about it? You had it, the smaller bottle, right? Nika.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it's a lot stronger.
It's a higher ABV.
Yeah, like from the barrel, I think it's called.
Yeah. Now, so on that point with you two guys, how do you like your whiskey alcohol-wise? Your
Strength?
ABV. Yeah.
No, however it comes. I generally like a little bit higher.
And then you can bring it down yourself, or?
No, I'm too lazy.
You just,
Usually I just drink cask strength straight up. I'll try it first at least, and then if I think it needs to be brought down a little bit, but like the Ardbeg Ugadal, I like as is. And a lot of those heavy, just takes maybe a few sips to let the tongue calm down a little bit from the extra alcohol.
Probably 40%. It's mostly what I've had.
Is it?
Yeah, I think the only one over 50 was that Nika.
And you found it hot,
I didn't care
or?
for the taste. I don't
No?
know. I it didn't taste as good as that, right?
This is 45, and this is 45.
Okay.
So, but coffee grain, it's different. The other one was single malt. There'll be some single malt into that, but the grain itself, it's different, right? That's good thing to do history. So, how long have you been into whiskey, Alex?
Probably a year now.
Hey, the Whiskey Dick. How you doing, Bill? Thanks for coming in. Santa Cruz, and what is it? Look at that. Yes. Okay, Bill, I didn't bring this up. One of the other guys did. These are Canadian whiskey glasses right here. Okay, guys, that's theirs. I didn't get as nice as the Canadian as I could, but we got this one. Thanks, Santa Cruz, for bringing that up. I didn't think I'd be drinking whiskey and doing lives in camp. I did come prepared, but I also left my stuff at my good buddy Josh's place in town. We are trying our best. Yeah, Bill. Well, you know what? If you don't have it, what are we going to do? We'll look like alcoholics drinking out of the bottle. I'm going to try some Jura. 10-year-old. The last Jura I had was Superstition, and I bought it here in Fort McMurray. Yep. I'm not even going to rinse this glass. The original Glencairn. Did you watch Julia's photography? That's the girlfriend. Anybody here? Try what would you like next there. She's got a video that she made about her grandfather's medicine and a medicine glass. She thought it was a medicine glass. Later on in the video, she realizes that it was just a shot glass that he called a medicine glass. I am not in a, well, yes, I guess we are in a dorm.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
Basically,
essentially.
yeah.
These are modular buildings. It is a camp. Probably the best camp I've ever been in. I know this room is huge. I got 3 big guys in here. The other camps, there's no way. Actually, in the other camps, they actually, in each dorm down on the bottom, they have a, not a lounge, but an area where you can sit and shoot the shit.
Oh, yeah.
TVs and whatnot, eh?
They're getting better.
I will. Okay, so we just got invited here by Know Your Whiskey, who Josh lives in town. Okay. And he's on Instagram, which you guys don't do, right?
No.
These guys aren't very social. They're not on any of those elements. See, I smell peat right away. Very light and very sweet.
Pour me one of those things.
You want another one of them?
Yeah.
Yeah. You want to rinse your glass, or we're just gonna go? We're gonna blend. We're gonna have it. Whiskey Ace, how you doing, buddy? Don't want to waste it on you. Got lots of stuff.
Nice little hint.
It is. Yeah, it's not gonna, if you don't like peat, this would be a good place to start and to first get into it, I think.
Pete's a good guy. He never hurt anybody.
Pete, for Pete's sake. Whiskey Dick is editing for his Friday video right now. He's always working that, man. Yes, they were. So the Whiskey Dick, Aquavite, which is Roy, and Scotch Test Dummies. If you haven't heard of them, they're on YouTube. So these guys have only been introduced to this side of the whiskey world. And so Bill, Scott and Bart, and Roy all went to the Whiskey Tribe, but down in Texas.
Okay.
It is, Bill, what do they call their compound now? And on their website, they say we are not a cult. And I am a member. I've been a member for a long time on their YouTube thing, or on their Facebook page. Welsh Toro, how you doing, buddy? And so they had a grand opening of their own still.
Oh, nice.
Right? Apparently, it's pretty small, but it is very innovative, and they're going to be doing some different things. So, and when we finish this up, we're going to start with an innovative. We'll go to it next. And we're going to talk to Bill about it. Because I think I would like to send Bill a sample of it. Might even be able to find one more bottle in this little town because nobody knows about it. Mash and Drum, I hope you had a great time doing your live today. It was kind of in between me driving from the job site and camp, so I couldn't see it.
Does Bill have his own channel?
Mm.
Then the caveat with sending him a sample of that is that it has to be part of his show.
Yeah,
so that
of course it does.
See his face.
That's it, Bill. We have to see your face.
Yep.
I might even send it in a Canadian Glencairn glass. Bill's pretty funny, man. And it's called the Whiskey Dick. You guys have had Whiskey Dick. You both have kids. I don't have any kids. Anyway, no, it's short for dictionary.
Oh, yeah.
And he does all the research so everybody else can.
Cool.
He would drink it on stream for sure. Of course he would. Welsh Toro is in Spain.
Cool.
The Mash and Drum is also down in the U.S., and I forget what state. The Whiskey Dick, I want to say Boston. Are you in Boston? Is it Boston or is it, what's next to Boston? You're from Toronto, you're supposed to know.
Yeah, I don't go down there.
This guy's from Ontario, and he's here because he's bitching about the whiskey prices in Ontario.
Part of the reason.
I don't know, that year is not that bad, actually.
No, but I was surprised, yeah.
So, what was your first whiskey? Like as a kid type of thing, in Coke or what?
Oh, yeah, Gibson's and Pepsi.
Gibson's
My dad
and
drank,
Pepsi.
yeah. I can't stand Gibson's, though.
No?
No. The 18 year is actually really good for a Gibson's.
Okay, he's from near Boston.
Near Boston.
I think it's Maryland or Matt. I'm going to find out where you live, and I'm coming to your door.
Maine, Massachusetts.
Well, Maine, Massachusetts.
We'll ask Google.
Yeah, we'll find it. So I'm trying to keep up with the comments, but they do a lot of cross talking in here. So we've had a Nika coffee grain and we have a Jura, and we're gonna give the young fella something I know he hasn't had before. and we'll need to rinse our glasses. Columbus, Ohio. So the Mash and Drum is a brand new guy. He just started his channel.
You have a guy from Columbus?
Yeah, the Mash and Drum.
Mash and Drum, cool.
Yeah.
I have a buddy of mine from home who works in Columbus.
Let's see what's he do there. You got a Newbie in Columbus.
Absolutely.
They're everywhere, buddy. They're taking over the world.
He, as far as I know, works for Victoria's Secret.
Seriously? He works for Victoria's Secret in Columbus, Ohio?
Yeah, but computer, that type of stuff.
Just like Bill.
But yeah, no, he's a big fan of the Blue Jackets, of course.
The Gibson's is Canadian. You were right. Gibson's is Canadian. He doesn't like it. But, I mean, there's different levels of Gibson's, right?
Yes.
Yeah. You're not buying the good stuff to mix. Right?
No, you're probably not buying the 18-year-old Gibson's.
The 18-year is a good whiskey.
I'll tell you right now, in these Canadian Glencairns, they go down a lot faster and smoother. I'm not lying to you, because he's finished his already.
Oh, yeah.
You ever used a Glencairn glass? You said your wife got
two
them.
of them,
Yeah. And do you drink them as fast in the Glencairn?
I don't even use them. I use my Scotch glasses.
See. What's a Scotch glass?
I don't know. It's a heavy bottom glass, heavy cup.
It's called a freaking tumbler.
A rocks glass.
Or a rocks glass.
I knew that. We talked about
I don't
that
even
the
care
other day.
what shape the damn thing is. I'm sick and tired of freaking whiskey glass reviews. Until I do mine, then I won't be sick of it. Little champagne flu will work. Actually, the favorite one that we got is, and they were kind of, Julia did, we were at a whiskey tasting. It was a fundraiser. And she put them in her purse and brought them back.
Oh, those Copitas?
Yeah.
Yeah, those are nice. They're delicate, though. They break easy. I had a couple. And
these ones are pretty thick.
Yeah.
They're a little, I don't know, maybe there are different ones, but these ones are, they've been in my house.
Yeah. I've had, I was getting Glencairns from a guy in Ontario, like ordering cases of them. And for us and our friends and that. And I asked about getting the Copitas, and he said they were basically he couldn't guarantee the shipping, that they'd make it.
Wow.
Oh. Anyway, I bought a bunch of glasses from a guy.
Thinner, yeah.
I haven't decided what to do with them yet, but they were pretty good.
Rum cups too. They're very thin.
What's going on out there, fellas? Anything you want to talk about? How about we try another Canadian?
Woohoo.
Anybody against us trying another Canadian whiskey? Speak up now, Bill. Actually, Bill did a nice review of 40 Creek Copper. And actually, the Whiskey Hunter, is it the Hunter? He's friends with the Scotch Says Dummies. He's a geologist. He did a nice one of Confederation Oak. So, you know what 40 Creek is?
Yep.
Okay, so it's in Ontario. It's a place in Ontario. The guy, John Hall, that originally owned 40 Creek, started with wine.
Okay.
And then he got into making whiskey. Mm-hmm. Now, their whiskey is very light, but he made one called Confederation Oak. And Confederation Oak is an American white oak tree that grew here in Canada, because they're the same tree species, but they grow obviously at a much slower rate here in Canada with our winters. Mm-hmm. But he had it cut down and he had it shipped to a cooperage, I believe in the U.S., mm-hmm. and made this whiskey called Confederation Oak.
Cool.
Yeah. And the Whiskey Hunter did a review of it.
How was that oak? And what's the theory on slower aged oak and the
tighter cells in it?
Slower aging, maybe?
Slower because of the slower aging and so forth. How old that actual tree was, I'd have to look it up.
Yeah.
It's been a while since I read about it. Mm-hmm. So, do I have any Alberta rye? No. I mean, I'm surrounded by Alberta rye at the liquor stores and so forth, but I have several bottles of Alberta rye, if that's the one you're asking about, which is a brand. And it's 100% rye. So a lot of people confuse Canadian whiskey as rye. Mm-hmm. And unless it says 100% rye on it, it's not. No. And the other difference for anybody that hasn't, and most of you guys know more about whiskey than I do in the chat, actually, is the rye or all the grains are blended separately, and then the liquid is mixed together. Unless you get this Crown Royal that came out called the Bourbon Mash,
Okay.
which has been pulled off the shelves in some places in the States because they didn't like the fact that it was called Bourbon Mash.
Nope.
And it actually has nothing to do with bourbon other than they actually made a mash of mixed grains and instead of doing them separately.
Okay.
So the people that reviewed it with the perspective of the word bourbon were not happy with it.
Sure.
And the beautiful thing the Scotch Test Dummies did is they re-reviewed it because Scott did a solo review of it. I mean, it was very cheap down there. It's probably like $25 or something. And he's like, no, not a good whiskey. And he re-reviewed it and opened it up more after they did one of their 12-hour lives. So they'll do 12 hours every hour, and they take like a 15-minute break and come back on, and they had a phenomenal lineup of people in there.
Wow.
And one of them is a gentleman that you guys may have not heard of, even though you're Canadian, named Davin Kirkemo.
Have not.
Davin Kirkemo wrote a book about Canadian whiskey called The Canadian Whiskey Portal.
Okay.
And it's or Portable Guide. And it's very good. It actually simply started with him having whiskey notes and his daughter saying, "Dad, why don't you write a book?" And then he decided, well, let's do it with the history of it. So he did a good show with that.
Nice.
Holy crap. Chris is in the cruise. Kind of missing National Drum. Chris, they are keeping the good stuff. They're Lot 40. Anybody try Lot 40 cast strength?
No.
From Ontario. Corby. Long tube. You can get regular Lot 40. To try to find the cast strength is hard right now.
I may have had it at the World of Whiskey's tasting back home last fall.
Well, a lot of these guys down in the States got into it, and they've been trying it, and it is phenomenal.
Okay.
I might or might not have a bottle or two. Anybody need rinsing?
Nope.
Already done.
Already done? Okay. Now, this isn't for glugging.
I'm not.
Son, I want you to try to smell it. Cover it up with your phone for a bit and try to smell a little bit. Do something with that giant glass of yours. This coffee cup may or may not have coffee in it. Oh, I spilled the drop.
Thank you, sir.
Take that drop off the chair there. And here's a trick that some people do. You get a little whiskey in your hands, rub it on just like they do with perfume. Rub it on and smell it. How does the Lot 40 compare to other ryes? Well, the Lot 40 is, I think, much more rye forward. You're going to really notice that it's a rye. When you go to the Alberta rye, that is 100% rye, it's at 40%. So it's not as noticeable, right?
Mm-hmm.
You like that?
Yeah, that's nice.
Okay, this, as we talked about it yesterday, if no one saw this, is from Whitehorse. The Yukon. It is single malt whiskey made by two brewers, and they're called that because there's two of these fellas that started making beer, and then they started making whiskey. And you had it yesterday. How's it taste today? Because today has been 24 hours.
It has.
It was opened yesterday, so it's had time to breathe.
Yep.
A little different.
Yep. I'm still enjoying it.
And
So-
That's nice.
No.
would you buy a bottle?
Yes, I would.
Sure.
Would you?
Yeah, no, it's not
It's
bad.
$89.99 Canadian because we price everything like Walmart.
Not in Ontario. It's
Whiskey
not.
Dick, heading to bed. Have a good night, buddy. Don't work too hard tomorrow. Make sure none of them computers crash. This is good. And I still get that gummy bearish candy nose off it.
Still got that, a little bit of sweetness. I just want to get a picture of this from my buddy,
Dig it.
Dave, who is in Whitehorse.
Oh,
He
seriously?
hasn't sent me a picture of it yet, so
Yep.
I don't know if he's had it yet.
If you can find this stuff, or especially for all the buddies down there in the States, start asking for it because it is good stuff, even in a plastic glass.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Can't remember what bottle this is. Yeah, Welsh Toro. It is 4 a.m. where you are. What are you doing out of bed?
Wow.
What are you doing still up?
It's me.
Yeah. Santa Cruz and Richie, they're around quite a bit. Lots. You never got any lot. So how many guys have never seen any lot 40? These two jokers. Not me. So, okay. I have some lot 40. I'll figure out what I'm going to do with some of it. Maybe some samples should be sent out so that you guys all get a chance to have it. Knob Creek in Copper, limited 2018 cast strength rye. Is that one? Santa? Oh, Whiskey Ace. What did Whiskey Ace say? Silver upper label. Don't know where that is. You want to try more Canadian, but it's nearly always at crappy strength. Yeah. And that's why we have Alex here. Alex said that he usually tries and prefers his Scotch at.
Just all the ones I've tried.
Oh,
Close
okay.
to 40, yeah.
So what's this one at? No,
No, I couldn't tell you.
You can't tell. You're not drinking that like coffee. Come on. Did you read it already?
45-ish? I don't know.
I just turned it so you could read it, didn't I?
No, I can't even say it. 45-ish? I don't know how to tell, to be honest.
You read it already. So this is at 43, which I think is quite appropriate. This is their fourth release. They have 10 releases now. They never try to copy their previous batch. And like I said yesterday, they make 4 different types in a class. They call it classic, innovative, special finishes, and peated. Their first peated was very, very light and peat, and then the second one was a little more peated. You can actually find a Scotch Test Dummy review, I believe, of it. That is, they did on a Monday impromptu, the day they don't work their regular job. There's none of that here, buddy. There is none Whiskey Altar in Utah.
Speaking of alcohol percentage, ABV, what's your thoughts on the magic number of 46?
What do you mean magic number 46?
Usually, I've been told that usually whiskeys that are below 46%, they need to be at least 46% for non-chill filtered whiskeys to not go cloudy over time, or less likely to go over cloudy over time. Usually if they're below that, they'll go cloudy much quicker. And so those that bottle at 46 and above are usually ones that are, well, besides cask strength stuff, but usually I don't think they're chill filtered anyway.
No. I like my whiskey to start at least at 45-ish in that area.
Yep.
I'm not worried about cloudy. I've never had a cloudy one that I was disappointed with.
I don't know that I've ever had a cloudy one.
And we're in Canada. I mean, I bought whiskey and left it in the truck at -30 when I'm doing something else.
Sure. Yep.
And it never really clouded up in a way that bothered me.
Yep. But what's your thoughts on chill filtering? And non-chill filtered?
I think it comes down to why they do it.
Sure.
So, I mean, obviously some are done for marketing reasons. They chill it, they filter it to maintain a certain color, and they add the food coloring and whatever, or E180, what is it? E180 something, 85. I'm your first sub, buddy. Whiskey Ace has 1 sub. Awesome. I can do that too. We're going to match that, Whiskey Ace. Oh, did you? You posted? Hold on here. We can go into that. I will. I'll check it out. We're going to go to your channel and we're going to sub Whiskey Ace. Awesome. Now you have 4 subs.
Cool.
Right on. And these guys are going to get into social media. Scotch on the Rocks. Check him out on Facebook. and he might come on and sub onto my channel. I don't know.
I did.
Under who?
Scotch on the Rock.
Did you? No, on YouTube?
Mm-hmm.
Did you? I never saw it. Didn't come up.
I think it was first name Scotch, second name On the Rock.
Oh, okay. 226. I'm doing awesome. Got my first. You're awesome, everybody. Everybody that sticks their neck out and does something creative, it takes time and effort to do it. Just ask Mash and Drum, the Whiskey Dick. I was only a fella in the chats, and I got talked into trying this. So here we are. So, hey, take it easy out there. Squealing tires in the dirt. You want to review the 2018 card discs.
Cartridge.
And
Lefroy.
so we have a Lefroy expert here. Okay, a Lefroy expert fan. The Spirit Safe, how you doing there, buddy? Spirit Safe is another whiskey tuber in Vancouver. I think he originally is from England.
Cool.
When I submitted, I was the first same time sub. Same what? How I'm lost on that one, but you can type in a response to clear it up. So what do you like about the Cardis? Besides it's from Lefroy.
Each expression that they put out is a little different. They play with it a little bit. Other cards, each year, it comes out and stuff. I can't remember if Chris was telling me that this year it was supposed to be the quarter cask, or if last year's was the quarter cask. I don't know that I've had the 2018 yet.
Okay.
They usually release it for the Isla Whiskey Festival.
Yeah. You guys probably hate me. I'm gonna look it up and see what I have here.
Mm-hmm.
So, what have you tried that's peated?
I don't know, to be honest.
You mentioned Lagavulin.
Well, Lagavulin, so the smoky.
Yeah.
That'd be the only way I know it's peated then.
Yeah.
And Ura, which even though that's not
I didn't
very,
find it too smoky, but yeah.
it is peated.
Yep.
Yeah.
But definitely lighter. So.
Oh yeah. The Glenlivet 18 year. It's got if I can remember, it's got a bit of a smoke to it.
2017 was quarter cask, and 2018 is Fino Sherry.
Cool.
Now you've been
to Lefroy and Sherry should be very good.
You've been to Lefroy.
I have been to Lefroy.
You went to 4 distilleries: Lefroy, Bowmore,
Lefroy, Bowmore, Ardbeg, and
Brookladdy.
Yep.
And you said Brookladdy had a pretty cool guide.
Yep.
Less off script than the other ones.
Yeah, just had fun.
Yeah.
Had a good chat. We did a tasting. They did the tasting out in the warehouse. All our tables were used barrels.
And you were allowed to take pictures of.
We could take pictures throughout the whole thing. Yeah. Well, at one of the other distilleries that we were at, they were in operation while we were there, and we couldn't take flash photography because they were worried about like being in a refinery or something, right? That something's going to ignite. At Lefroy, they were down, so we could take pictures of everything. But at Brookladdy, they were operating, and we could take pictures of everything.
I don't have any Lefroy Cardis. I've got Triplewood.
Mm-hmm.
And that
Triplewood's quite nice.
Yeah, this one's older.
Yeah,
it's probably 2 or 3 years old.
The 18 is beautiful when it's around.
I have a bottle of quarter cask.
Mm-hmm.
Signatory Vintage I have a bottle of.
Nice.
2001. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I've never been. See, here's what happens with me with peat is I don't drink it fast enough. And I find that it oxidizes more so than a non-peated.
Mm.
And I end up not liking it.
Okay. I don't know that I've ever noticed any change from the beginning to.
Yeah, I have. I don't like it.
Oh, interesting. No,
don't waste the time with Cardew. Okay. The Whiskey Altar. Do you make videos? They're talking to each other, so that's the best because sometimes it's hard to follow. Although we only have 11 viewers. Not only we have 11 awesome viewers. I never worry about the ones that don't show up. Right? I had a martial art teacher years ago, and I'd come to class quite often. I'd be the only one there. And I kind of felt bad for him, but he was like, I only worry about the ones that show up. So I would get private classes, and it would be awesome. So he had a good point that way. Whiskey Ace, that's going to be awesome. Okay. You like that?
I did like that, actually.
Canadian single malt.
Impressed.
Yeah, very,
Right?
actually, yeah.
Still, there's lots that are coming. Right? In Ontario, you've got tonight is going to be the night that I forget them all. Whiskey and the Six. Rob lives very close to them. Still Waters, I want to call it. No, it's not. Anyway, they made a couple good single malts, right? I've had some bad single malts as well because they were probably rushed from Canada. You obviously have the Glen Breton from Nova Scotia. There's a couple in BC. There's one on the island, on Vancouver Island. I mean, the Victoria Caledonian, and those people that own it and have been hired to work for it, pretty much all coming from Scotland. So good stuff going to come out of that one already.
Andrew's actually half Newbie.
And is he?
He is. His mother is from Stephenville.
Is it?
Second cousins with a good buddy of mine that I paddle with back home.
Have you picked up the accent yet?
Yeah.
It's not. Tell me where you're to, and I'll come where you're at. Hey, he does pretty good.
You're trying. You're trying.
He's probably a townie.
Technically, yes.
He's a townie.
I grew up in Clarenville, but technically I'm a townie.
He's a townie. You have in Newfoundland, gentlemen, you have townies and you have baysmen. Daniel, do you have any Cardew Scotch in my collection? Yes, I do. And now I'm worried about it because Spirit Safe says don't even bother. You're hanging out in a dodgy hotel. We are not. We are actually in, this is a premium work camp. We are in northern Alberta. Just to answer your question, Spirit Safe. And we've just found a way of being very fond with our whiskey. And I have one here that I don't know if we should open it yet.
We probably should.
No, I don't know if we should open this one yet. I think we're gonna have to be careful. This one here is made in Alberta, and it is made in Fort McMurray. Yeah, I don't know. I think I'm afraid to try it right away because it might ruin our palate. We've had some exquisite little whiskeys.
You've had some very nice whiskeys.
Yeah, this here, and I challenge you, Spirit Safe, to try this, to get a bottle of this and try it. You know what Aquavit is? This is called Meat Sweat Aquavit. And we only gave the name yesterday, Ian and I, on the live show we did. But for the booze ban, what booze ban? There's no such thing as a booze ban. There are idiots that go drunk down the hallway, and then there are not idiots that don't go drunk down the hallway. That's smuggle. I would work at remote camp with the booze. That smuggle? No, we didn't smuggle nothing, man. And snitches get stitches. Let's remember that. You might not know that from England, okay? I don't know what they call it over there. But you see these two guys behind me? They're bigger than I am. And I wouldn't hesitate in a... Yes. They'll take you right from Vancouver straight to the Rock. The room, yeah, the room does look sad, Wells Toro, but the camp food is awesome. The dudes I'm working with are awesome. The plant itself is, yeah, not so much. Eh? Listen, Whiskey Alter, you have that right. We have been to way, oh my God, guys, you don't even, this is gold in this camp. They have one security guard here, and he's not an a-hole. He's like, nicest guy around.
Yeah, he's actually not bad.
I don't know how he works every hour of the hour. I've only seen one guy.
Yeah, I know.
Like, are they twins? Do they? I've never seen.
Yeah, that could be.
Maybe he stays in camp. Maybe he lives here. I don't know. This is awesome. It's not bad at all. I mean, there are lots of places to complain about, and this isn't one of them. Not at all. We're very fortunate to be here because they could have stuck us somewhere else. Anyway, preview later on. Whether I do it in camp or not, we'll get this in the light. We're going to try something called Meat Sweat Aquavit, which means that it's not a whiskey, but it's made at the Wood Buffalo Brewing Company in downtown Fort McMurray. I don't think we want to open this yet.
We'll go by your lead.
Meat Sweat. You haven't seen that yet? Don't read the back label out loud. We don't want no one nothing about it. They can do their own homework. I'm not the whiskey dick. You do your own homework. Okay.
Similar to gin.
You guys were asking about rye?
Yes.
On the channel, they were asking about rye.
Cool.
Do you want to try rye?
I'm not shy of rye.
You're not shy of rye? Ian is not shy of rye. What do you take back? I'm going to try to get a remote camp job. Doing what? Mash Spirit Safe, you come across to me like you're some sort of an engineer. Don't ask me why I say that. All right. We've heard about this. I've seen several reviews on it. It is bottled in bond, 100%, 100 proof straight rye whiskey. What does straight rye whiskey mean? Santa Cruzan, could you tell us? You're being awful quiet, buddy. Whiskey, you haven't heard of which? I'm going to. I'm waiting for a special bourbon. Sugar House Bourbon will be my first whiskey altar. It's Utah whiskey. Right on. You are at a remote camp. Yeah, most of the camps are banned, right? But, I mean, if you come here, you know, like I said, loose lips sink ships. How much stuff did they drink when they came up with Meat Sweat? Well, okay, I'll let you in on one little tidbit. They actually let smoked meat, as it was being smoked, I believe, drip into this. Umami favorite. Faced it. No, I do believe that they actually let meat drip into this.
They do.
Yes, raw bison meat washed and hung over spiced base spirit. Bison.
Sounds delicious.
Meat dripped into that.
Literally meat.
Listen, I don't know if you guys saw the time I was in Moose Jaw. First of all, on a place called Moose Jaw. And I bought some whiskey from Regina. That is going to be better than what I got from Regina. And I'm betting dollars to donuts on it.
Right.
Okay. So maybe tomorrow we can even grab it. There. Okay, who's ready? Written Rye, 100% rye whiskey.
This is my first dabbling into bondage.
It is? First time with bonded whiskey.
Mm-hmm.
Sounds a little kinky. This whiskey was bonded.
Thank you.
There's no bondage in this camp. Did I get an answer from our buddy? I've got to be at least 2 years to be labeled straight. It's bonded in, so it's 4 or older. Bottled in bond under U.S. government supervision.
Cool.
Did you just drink it and not smell it first?
Oh, I smelled it.
He seems to be a lot faster than you and getting through his drams. That's all I'm noticing. I can see
He's
you.
I'm just getting into this, right?
Yeah,
He's just getting into this. The rookie. Guys,
I was smelling it.
can you tell him what I called this episode? Something about a newbie. I had to come up with something to call it.
I get to make all kinds of mistakes.
Oh, that smells phenomenal. This is the one thing. It draws me to rye in a heartbeat. And it started with High West Double Rye. So Double Rye is a very young rye and then an older rye blended together.
Okay.
So High West is kind of like, you guys have never heard of Compass Box yet?
No?
Yes.
You have.
Yeah.
So John Glasser and the guy that initially created High West, they actually stay in contact. I found that out from one of John Glasser's employees. And I've always wondered about it because I consider High West to be North America's version of Compass Box. So they take these two ryes before they had their own distillery. So they were sourcing it, but they blend them together. And I was given it at a whiskey festival, and I went, I want Scotch, man. This is not, he's just take it. This guy was a member of ASS. I was a member of ASS. That's the Alberta Scotch Society. I was a board member for a brief moment.
I'm an occasional guest of ASS.
Are you? Oh, yes. He's been on there. He's done more with ASS than I did, to tell you the truth. And I know how that sounds. And he is from the Rock. Right. Scotch on the Rock. But anyway, the aroma with rye is so floral, and I could have taken that high West double rye all day long and just walked around and just
really.
Oh yeah, I
find
love
it similar to that coffee grain. This one, the smell.
Well, there is a similarity in the fact that they're grains.
Yeah.
They're not malted.
With that fruity kind of.
Oh yeah, got to be like Josh. Know your whiskey. Hey, David Raglan, Dr. Raglan's in. You're gonna pass on meat sweat? Stick to the good stuff. Oh, come on. Just for experimental reasons, doctor. Let's try the meat sweat. I got it. I'm going to try it.
Now I got pictures of chasing a bison across the plains.
Getting them all sweaty. Gotta get that beef. Oh, I need some meat sweat.
I'm enjoying this.
It is actually.
That is good.
It is very nice.
We agree with you, Mastrom.
You can definitely get the extra hit of alcohol from it, but it's not overpowering by any stretch.
No, I mean we have water here.
I can. It's definitely got more alcohol in it then.
How much more?
I don't know.
He's not paying attention.
I can only
said
guess.
it out loud. This guy's my boss on the job right now, by the way, just so you know. I have to report everything to him.
Yeah.
This is my first time working as a quality assurance person. Usually I'm quality control, and we avoid these guys. Now I got to go and tell them stuff all the time. But these guys know metal, and I don't know metal. I just apply stuff that makes the metal look pretty. I hide all the blemishes that these guys can't hide. Just like when we're building a house for the framers and stuff. If it's a not plumb, we got to make the brick a plumb, you know? We make the brick a plumb, you can't tell that the house is leaning. Like the Tower of Pizza, you know what I mean, huh? Meat sweat, man.
47, 48%.
Look this up.
That's high, isn't it? 50? I was going to say 50. That seems too high.
Don't stop whispering back there, I can hear you. I think everybody should get a sample of this. It ain't cheap, I'll tell you that. That little bottle's like $57, but I just had to get it because it's local.
Just because.
Looks like a beer.
Whiskey Altar, you got to try some double rye. Meat sweat. It's desperate. I love the double rye, man. And I have Rendezvous rye. So Rendezvous rye starts with, I think, a 6-year-old, and it has like an 11-year-old.
Okay.
And I also have 3 bottles of 20-year-old rye from High West, but it is a sourced whiskey. They didn't make it themselves. Man, see, that's the Santa Cruzan. I have a midnight winter's dream or whatever. I don't know what it's like, though. Let's hope it's not marinated BS. The marketing bullshit. What's marketing? You mean the meat sweat marketing? That's not marketing. It is what it is. Baby, I will. Had some baby Saz on live stream tonight. Baby Saz. Oh, Sazerac. What's baby Sazerac?
Young?
Yeah, is it young? I have a bottle of Sazerac rye. Not opened yet.
Either that or a wee bottle.
Yeah, what is that there? Whiskey drum? Mash drum? Whiskey drum. You have the latest one. So if I tell you what I have, no one has been able to tell me what it is. So this is Midnight Winter's Dram. It's all named kind of after Shakespeare. It's put out by High West. Have you ever tried High West?
I have not.
Never even
Probably,
heard of it. You know, I haven't tried it.
probably can't get it in Ontario.
No, definitely not.
Yippee-ki-yay, haven't one popped up yet. I kind of think I might have had one that was someone was willing to deliver to me. And I didn't respond very quick because I did not know at that time they had sent me a message on Messenger. It's High West, and the one I have, guys, is High West. It is odd to me because it's got a different number than anybody else I've ever seen. I have High West Silver, or Oh My God Pure Rye, they call it. Campfire. A Midwinter Night's Dram. Okay, somebody correct me if I'm reading this night. Midwinter's Night's Dram. I'm getting so old, Santa Cruzing. And I mean, it was a battle to get it, and I can't read the numbers. But they always list what scene it's supposed to be from in the play, right?
Oh, really?
I don't have it written down, but it is an odd number on it. So those are the High Wests.
Okay.
Right? They come in a funky little bottle.
That's neat.
Cool.
But they are very well made. The man that started High West is actually a chemical engineer. You are in Utah, Whiskey Altar. Go and, oh yeah, they have their own still. I would do that in a heartbeat. I actually saw a guy that did a High West tour, but he wasn't into the whiskey so much just because he was starting YouTube and doing tours. So Will Stora was sipping some 1776 barrel proof. That is terrific stuff, spicy and punchy. What is 1776 barrel proof? This is the other thing. You always got to remember to ask everybody what they're drinking. Are you playing video games?
No, I'm arranging my father to smoke some salmon for me.
Oh, yes. You know what? Our young friend Ian took the weekend off and left us here to work in this dirty place.
Yes, I did.
And cleansed yourself in the oceans off of Vancouver Island, in a place where Canadians go to surf.
We stopped at Long Beach and saw all the surfers.
Yeah, that's in Tofino.
It's just south of Tofino. Southeast of Tofino.
That's the warmer water on that side.
Yeah, warmer than back home, but
yeah, warmer than Newfoundland.
Yeah.
And you brought no fish for us.
No.
You shipped it all back to Newfoundland.
It's on its way.
Like you don't have enough bloody fish in Newfoundland. You have to come to BC.
Yes.
And take it.
Lots of Chinook, a little bit of coho.
I served fish tonight at camp.
They did.
Is it tilapia?
No, it was red snapper.
It was red snapper.
Red snapper.
We caught some red snapper.
Did you?
We did.
How many fish did you all catch now?
Ooh. So there were 7 of us.
Taking my fish.
There would have been 20, so 26 Chinook, 7 coho, half a dozen lingcod, a bunch of rockfish, various types, snapper, red snapper, sea bass.
You had a good guide.
We did. We had a good boat, big boat, Himax Tours, highly recommended. They knew what they were at. Great boat for a larger group.
What do you think, Santa Cruz? If we come down to Santa Cruz, could we get that many fish? Or do you want to come up here? Is MGP Distillate. Okay. Is a baby says baby to Buffalo Trace Antique. Man, bourbon has more stories than a library. I cannot keep up with how many. I mean, Scotch isn't any different, I guess. They all got stories. And that's the other topics to get into when you're doing this type of stuff. So have you ever been unfairly influenced by marketing?
Of course.
What example could you give us?
To speak in whiskey only?
No.
Anything?
But lead it into whiskey.
Well, Well, any of them. You read, for example, if you go online and you look at the LCBO website, you read what they say about the whiskey. You know,
Oh yeah,
hint
well,
of vanilla, this and that. I mean, it's all bullshit, is what it is, right? Like some of them taste like, awful, right? And
yeah. Well,
it's just I mean,
I guess when
marketing gimmick, right? Get you to go buy it.
Sure it is, yes. I mean, I'm sure they've had experienced people come up with those types of things. Right? But yeah, there is some unfair marketing.
I mean, some of them are hilarious. Right?
Some are, yeah. If you get into the Scotch Malt Whiskey Society, you will find some phenomenal stuff.
Yeah,
but it's
definitely on my list.
Yeah, I would definitely try something.
Yeah.
And what about you? Especially with whiskey, what don't you like?
Ooh.
Well, not the whiskey drinking, but the market on the marketing.
Oh, on the marketing side of it. Well, we were talking last night a little bit about the Macallan and their move in at least this region to the color statements, and basically my interpretation is that they haven't got the patience to age the whiskey, get it out quicker because they can sell it. So they no longer age to an age statement, but how is that any different than aging to a color statement?
Yeah, I agree.
The amber, the gold, etc.
Exactly. That's a very good way of putting it. Santa Cruz says they are biting pretty good. The bottom fishing here. What do you mean the bottom fishing here? Good size halibut off the beach, 2 blocks
fishing
from me.
Yeah. We didn't get any halibut. We the day we went for halibut, or the day we would have tried for halibut, the current was a little too big for the area that we would have gone to. Even where we went for the ground fish, we had a bit of wind, a bit of current there. It was kind of hard to stay on the ground, but when we could hit bottom quickly, we were getting fish. And then we gave it up and went looking for coho.
Yeah. Last year in the summer, I had a summer off. We went to Washington, and just between there and Oregon. And I went off on my motorbike, and Buddy went tuna fishing, and they caught 1 tuna. And there were tuna boats out there left and right trying to catch fish, and they were not happy with their guy because it's $400 US. And so and they caught 1 tuna.
Yep.
I think he and I pretty much ate that tuna the next day. We were pretty much finished. Phenomenal little teriyaki and soy sauce, whatever they put together. It was delicious. And cook it very short, real quick on the barbecue.
Yeah, absolutely.
It was it was so tender. It was
tuna
phenomenal.
Especially, just need to sear it up a little bit.
They don't.
Yeah, you do not need to cook much of it at all.
Well,
See,
I like a lot of sashimi, so.
Yeah,
So-
okay.
When these guys get into this stuff, Dr. Ragland, JEP 17 is still better than the Duke bourbon. Well, yeah, I've skipped that Duke bourbon many times. That and Bullet bourbon. I don't know why people like Bullet, but I don't like it. Maybe they're 10-year-old or the cast strength, but the other Bullet, the regular stuff, I'm like, yeah, I might marinate something with it, but I don't think I'd use it for anything else, right? But when they get into these, they break them down. I don't abbreviate. It's just like us at work. Everything's abbreviated. FLRA, JESP, JSEP. Man, it's just they got to give you a log every different plant you go to. It drives you nuts. Whiskey Ace is pouring JP Weiser Triple Rye. That is awesome, man. Actually, I don't mind it.
I don't think I've had.
Well, you got to read into that because why they call it Triple Rye, I'm not 100% sure.
Sure.
Might be the different barrels. Triple barrel rye, I think, is what it is.
Okay.
Macallan Gold is the bottom feeder of my 12 Mac bottles I have. The bottom feeder. Well,
Really?
I wouldn't buy one.
No.
Well, I think.
I had a bottle of the Sienna.
Yeah, if I
enjoyed that.
The Sienna's good. I mean, Macallan's not making bad whiskey. I just don't like their bad marketing because they think that we're idiots or something. I don't know.
I was told to buy the very rare, and I can never find it.
Yeah, this is probably about $350 a bottle and more in Toronto.
Yeah, I wouldn't buy it in Toronto. I'd buy it here for half the price. Right?
I don't know about half, but
2/3.
No?
Two-thirds, yeah.
Okay. I haven't seen it yet, though.
Yeah, see, the standard bullet are a bit overrated from the cock. Yeah, and that's it. It's a cocktail. It'd be all right. Well, you know what? I disagree because on Facebook, and if you guys haven't seen them, there is a Facebook page there called the Whisky Blasphemers.
Okay.
And they take 30-year-old scotch and make a highball with it, or make an old fashioned. And why not? Why would you not have a premium? Yeah, man.
Yeah.
I mean, you see, if you enjoy those cocktails, you enjoy it that way. And
there's a cocktail place in Canmore in there, man. I tell you, I was hitting them hard for different old fashions. Yeah. Do it with a scotch form, and they ding you big for having something different in there than what they pick.
Yeah, and their standard,
than their bourbon, their standard bourbon. Whiskey cask strength is the only way to go with bullet bourbon. Oh yes, well I would agree with you, and I'll probably give it a shot. Starbucks ditto, brother. Yeah, Mac 18 is still the best of the ones I have. Which Mac 18 have you had, Richie? I have a couple, but mine are old.
I wanted a bottle back home where the Newfoundland Liquor Corporation runs everything, kind of like the LCBO does in Ontario. Sometimes they'll sell they have something and they're selling it off, and the prices can go down pretty decently. So after I had started doing tastings for my friends, I wanted to do a tasting, and I remembered seeing the 18-year-old marked down considerably, and they were selling it off. But when I went to go and buy it, it was all gone. And I found out afterwards that my wife's uncle had bought a case of it and never did offer to sell me a bottle.
What? So you don't like that uncle anymore? Oh
no, I do. He's been quite generous with his whiskey since. Been over to his place many times. But yeah, he had an ear into the place and knew when it was going on.
Right on.
Yeah.
I'll show you this picture that Josh sent me. That is a picture of the sale tags at the liquor depot here. 1997. Well, that's phenomenal, Richie. I'd have to look there, but I think I have a 1994, maybe 93 as well.
Park 18 for about
yeah, the newer ones I don't think are as good. And I have some cask strength, which I think are better than the Talent Classic. Right? How much is it? If it's too expensive, Richie, how much is it? Dr. Ragland, do you work tomorrow? Because you have Wednesdays off. Is that right?
Seriously, they got the Oakentoshan American Oak for $17.97.
What?
Last call.
Son of a beach. I might buy another one.
Right? Well, I mean, why wouldn't you?
$17 for Oakentoshan. That's below their cost. Yeah. $900. I'd shop around, Richie. I would.
I can't say.
Is that on an auction or what is it, Richie? Where do most of you guys get your whiskey from anyway? Especially Curious Welsh Toro being in Spain. You're working tomorrow? What's tomorrow? It's what?
Thursday?
Oh, it is, man.
Thursday.
30th.
Big giant red tags. If you haven't tried it, one of the ones they have on here, which is kicking me, they have a Deanston Virgin Oak. That one there, $45. Deanston is getting lots of positive feedback right now.
Cool.
I bet you want to try it at $900. So dark. He's talking about 1990 cask strength Macallans or 18-year-old Macallans. Yeah, so sherry, dark.
Yeah.
I want to try the Klein Lee or the Glenrothes I bought. I can't remember what it is now.
I think I got a bottle of Glenrothes I bought in Royal Mile Whiskies in London that I haven't opened yet.
Which again?
Glenrothes.
Glenrothes?
Yeah, I think it might have been a specific bottling for Royal Mile Whiskies.
Oh, as in Edinburgh, the Royal Mile?
Yeah, so there's a company, they got a store in Edinburgh and they got one in London.
If I do go to Scotland, we are going to be in Edinburgh for 2 days. 2 days.
Yep.
And it will be the Royal Mile and the SMWS Club, which is the Vault, it's called there. That's the main, the mothership of partner bars for the SMWS.
Nice.
And hopefully Roy Aquavite will come and visit me. Or I'll take the bus to Glasgow, whatever it means.
We rented a flat there on the Royal Mile for a couple of nights when we were there.
Did you? How much was that?
I can't remember, but reasonable.
Yeah. Yes, I work. It's so dark. Deanston Virgin Oak, Richie says. I sipped a few days ago. It is wonderful. So everybody's always asking, hey, are you a peathead or are you in the sherry? You're a peathead.
And sherry.
And sherry.
They go together.
And peated cherry.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like a man's going to do it when.
Couldn't tell you.
Couldn't tell you. I tend to lean toward here now that rye. And
that's probably my least favorite.
Virgin Oak.
Right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Is it?
Yeah, I don't know. The lingering aftertaste. I don't know. It's just I don't mind that.
I was impressed by that, Ryan.
The aroma's great.
It is.
I'm not I have nothing against rye. I normally don't drink a lot of it, but
that's a good rye.
That's a very good rye.
Yeah. Do you ever try putting drops of water in your whiskey, even at 40%?
No.
Oh yeah, that's the way you really start to experiment.
Really?
And break it down if you're willing. I mean, you'll hear it all the time. The master blenders will dilute it down to like 35%.
Oh, really?
Even a cast strength.
Yeah. And for tasters, I think it's down to like 25% for tasting and trying to break it apart.
Oh,
like
really?
very, very fine, very minutely, but.
And so,
yeah.
Okay,
I don't know. Before I read the rest of the comments here,
no,
you will.
I enjoy it.
Have this idea where they take the whiskey and dilute it that low. Do you think the people that are in a master blender has better taste buds than you or I or these fellas? Or like a cook? You know, I mean, you saw me do a thing about Anthony Bourdain. Sure, he might have been a great little chef, but he smoked like a chimney. And I've been here in camp where we had the last camp where you got to cook, one smoked and one didn't. So the week on that the smoked was here, everything had lots of seasoning in it, lots of salt. When the non-smoker guy was here, everything kind of was bland. And it really made me kind of think about where it's like talking about cast strength. If I'm only used to drinking higher ABV, when I get to something that's only 40, I'm like, this is no good. But that's not true. You have to train it. It's just like your ear to certain types of music, right? When you first hear something, you may not like it, but if you give yourself time, you're going to hear the nuances of it, right? I wonder what you guys think out there about, is it because diluting their whiskey makes them have to be more patient and thoughtful about what they're tasting?
I think it
didn't think whiskey. You thought whiskey was just for drinking.
No. At first, yeah, for sure. But no, it's.
I would think that this
guy's got a psychology background. Did I ever tell you that?
I can tell.
We are all, just so you know, Ian's got some degree in psychology. We're being analyzed right now.
I was interested in animal behavior, so yes, you are being analyzed right now.
Animal behavior. Thus why he is so attracted to meat sweat.
Absolutely.
Meat sweat. That's funny, man. Just like saying meat sweat.
I think adding the water, bringing down the intensity, just sort of, I would think, because I've never done it, I would think that would allow you to sort of break apart
find more
the building blocks a little more.
Yeah. I think it's like using just enough salt to draw out the flavors, because salt, I mean, you put it on stuff and it actually draws out stuff, right? But if you put too much on it, then all you're tasting is salt.
Yes.
Right? So.
Yeah. That's interesting because a good buddy of mine.
Richie, I should.
I frequently call my Scotch pusher, Andrew Campbell Walls. He's a smoker. or was off.
I think he's quit.
He may have quit now, but he was a long time a smoker.
Well, he just had a baby, so he was at the last tasting for Victoria Caledonian. He was on a douche flute, or a vape, whatever. It's a douche flute. Sorry, Swami, but it's a douche flute. I don't know if you're around.
For all that time smoking, he has a very refined palate for whiskey and wine, etc. He's a level 3 wine set sommelier, and he can pick stuff apart. And even though he's done that to damage to his taste buds,
and you wouldn't know it to see the guy, because first of all, one of the things is he's a 3rd level sommelier, but he also loves. He's a rock climber. But his hands aren't as strong as they used to be, because I used to challenge him, because back when I first met him, I was still on the tools laying bricks. And I'm like, I'm pretty sure, right? But he's laid back, quit smoking anyway, I think, because of the baby. Yeah. And the wife.
I think so,
shouldn't be smoking around the baby.
No.
Right? So hopefully, Andrew, you did quit smoking. Whiskey Alter retracted a statement. Elmer T. Lee bourbon. How is? I don't know. I've never tried Elmer T. Oh dear, Meat Sweat. Didn't you see that? Yes, this is called Meat Sweat Aquavit whiskey, or Wells Toro. Wells Toro and I will be in the chat. Somebody will just type in WT Whiskey Throttle or whiskey. I'm like, who are you talking to? Yeah, they're usually talking to Wells Toro, because he's much more sophisticated. It's kind of like you versus us two. You know
what?
You're just much more articulate.
Huh.
That was very He thinks before he speaks. I don't. Yeah, I got a nephew like that too.
You think I can think?
I think you think I think. Anyway, what are we up to? Not really worth secondary prices. It's good around if you get around 30 or 40. Okay. They're talking about bourbon and some prices, right? Give her a Pappy Van Winkle, obviously. Yep. I mean, it's like 20 grand for a bottle of some releases of it, right? Supply and demand. And people pay. People pay for it. They'll pay for it.
Well, luxury prices. I can't
Fine Things Fermented. How you doing? Another Fort McMurray fella. So clarify for me, for the guys in the chat, Matt. Fine Things Fermented. You have a blog and a list of something like 2,000 beers that you have tried and tasted and recorded.
Nice.
He seriously is
excellent.
A phenomenal beer guy. What's alcohol intensity in the wine? I don't know. And I would pronounce your name, but I do not know how to say that. I'm not sure if it is Chinese or Korean. Closing on 2,100 beer reviews. So Fine Things Fermented, where do we find your beer reviews? I told the guy the bottle was still there in 2 years I'd buy it. Is that the $900 bottle we're still talking about? So Fine Things Fermented works here.
Okay. Cool.
He's one of them fancy dancy engineers or something. We share the WT. You should ask permission, though. I will ask permission. I think I'm going to change my title. I'm going to do like what Eric Waite talked about in his show. I'm going to start my other channel. We're not sure what we're going to call it yet. Something to do with growing. I'm going to grow into the Hulk and rip Malted in Montreal shirt off my chest. It'll just be me ripping t-shirts off. I got a lot of weight to lose.
Whiskey Throttle full. WTF.
WTF. Whiskey Throttle. What happens when I really have a lot of drinking in me? I mean, I've been sipping this for the last hour. So, Fine Things Fermented. Boys, I'm going to need Sunday off.
Okay.
All right.
Not going to happen.
Why?
I'm just joking.
Fog said the same thing. There's barely anything left to do.
We need you to work right through. Come on.
Beach. Listen, Fine Things Fermented and I have a housewarming party to go to. I might not make it. It's Saturday night.
We just need you to sit in there. You don't have to do anything.
inside the unit or
in the office. It'll work.
Thump, thump, thump. I can feel it right now. Actually, I do not like to get hammered.
No, he has to be over building 51. Definitely a building 51.
Yeah.
That thing is like 50 degrees inside there.
Absolutely.
No, but you'll be outside running. Don't worry.
We're in a nice office. We go over to get in the vehicle with the rest of the guys, and they got to be 20 degrees hotter than we are. They're all in there
I've been
sweating.
heating in that building, getting ready for winter.
Oh, man. Are they ever? Well, maybe it's right beside utilities, isn't it?
Yeah. It is.
2,100 beers. Did you say I'm sipping on? Oh, yeah, Kensington Brookladdy. What makes it the Kensington Wine Market Brookladdy, and why do you like to overpay for your whiskey? Sorry, I have a thing or two to say about them. 2,100, and did you state where they can read your blog? That's what I'm looking for. Because we got to get ready for work tomorrow soon.
Yep.
2,100 beers, man. And they are,
no.
Oh no, they're phenomenal.
No.
They are. Well, folks, we should start saying goodbye. Sometimes that takes for a while. What do you guys want to sip? I bought this because I thought I'd be doing a lot of stuff alone. So we'll start with this. Because we haven't had a sherry.
Ooh, sherry.
Sherry.
I like sherry.
I love sherry.
I like portwood finish, though. I really do like a number of whiskeys with a nice portwood finish.
Whiskeys, fine things fermented, sub, drank about that many myself. So you subbed on his Instagram. We're all fresh and rinsed.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
These guys are like, why are we just listening to you ramble?
Ready for whiskey. Cheers.
We got to make sure we do that up.
Thank you.
That looks great. I got a lot of these.
Ooh,
By the way.
that's
Tomatin
nice.
is one of my favorites.
Butterscotch.
Butterscotch. First thing he gets is butterscotch. That's a good one.
That's nice.
Thank you for allowing me to take the time, Santa Cruzan. Fine Things Fermented is okay. Wait a minute. Yeah, there's something about Tomatin is, well, they're very good. Have you ever had Kubakan or Kubakan? There's an interesting story about that I can tell you guys after.
Okay.
Thank you very much, Richie. Laddie is their first exclusive 300 bottles, and it was really easily worth the money. I'll bring you awesome. I'll bring you a sample Saturday. This is my boss. I don't know when. Is Fod back tomorrow? What?
Yeah.
That's great.
He can take.
I don't care. Everybody else freaking does what they want. It seems like if my counterpart took a different day off, I'm like, why? I just want to take my regular day off.
And I want Fod to take over again because I don't want to do it. I just want to pay attention to my stocks.
That's it.
Yeah.
Day trading.
Buddy, he is based in. Yes, bring me a sample. Can I buy a bottle?
No.
I'm gonna check your channel out here. I'm gonna be off the chat for a second. You have 2 subscribers.
43%.
It's not bad.
What's that got to do with beer? I ain't seen no beer.
50.
Anyway, now you have 3 subscribers. Fine Things Fermented. So I think you and Josh should be doing a channel. You love this t-shirt? It's a little late, and I don't know why, but the letters look a little warped and stretched. And right here, they're kind of pointy. Sold out like that because you bought them all, you little snake. Probably bought some for Josh, didn't you? That's malted in Montreal. Just came in. That's Swami. He's the guy that actually, first time I ever did anything on YouTube, I was on his channel.
Nice.
Yeah.
Cool.
He's a punk rocker. Hardcore. He's hardcore, all right. Listen, Swami, come up here to work. So Swami lived in Alberta for a while by the baseball bat. I smell barbecue.
And kitchen staff cooking up some of the
Kitchen
special
staff doing a little special cooking outside the window here, folks. Yeah. Tell us. Spirit Safe. I don't know where you went, but tell me all about Prohibited.
Banned.
Swami just comes in when I'm about to leave. What do you guys think of Tomatin 12-year-old?
That's nice.
I like that.
That's nice.
Nothing wrong with that.
No, Tomatin makes a fine product. I bought this just because I have quite a bit of Tomatin.
Mm-hmm.
Tomatin, if anybody wants to see the other two.
That is nice.
Horde EG, cold one with the boys. How you doing, Horde?
18 in the old Rosa Sherry should be nice.
No, I didn't. What do you mean Submarine 3?
Nice.
Where did Submarine 2 go from? No, I did not get it. And where is I got to call home. I am a Charlie Brown. They're good stuff, boys.
Yeah.
You've never had a Tomatin before?
No, that's
I have.
Yeah. What type?
It's been a little while. I think I've just had like some of the regulars.
Those are all regulars.
Yeah. I can't remember. I've certainly had the 12, maybe the 15. I'm not sure if I've had the 18.
So is that a plan for tomorrow?
Yes. Yes, it is.
Do you want to eat here and then just leave, or what?
I'm eating town.
You want something different?
Yes.
The boss just said he's buying us dinner in town.
Yeah.
Did you hear that?
You buy the whiskey, I'll buy the food. Sure.
What?
Hell yeah.
Likely sold out by now. Will it be as good as the original one that I have signed by Jim McEwen? Just curious. Find things for a minute. $500 to $600. You're gotta be kidding me.
That's a big price for a bottle.
You leave my moobs alone. And I have friends here. I know your address. These guys are, one guy's from Toronto. It's right like next door. And before we go, guys, go on Facebook and look up
Scotch on the Rock.
I was just going to say Ian Fong and his page called Scotch on the Rock, not Whiskey on the Rock. Scotch on the Rock. Yeah, Malta to Montreal. He just did a road trip too on his motorbike.
Nice.
Highways or Route 66.
Nice.
All the
I've
way
been
back.
on Route 66 once on the way to the Grand Canyon.
Did you?
Yeah.
I swear, I smell barbecue.
I should go find it because I'm hungry now.
Yeah, I smell. Do you not smell barbecue cooking up?
I like it smells it. Smells better.
This stuff is good, man.
This is
It's a 12-year-old Tomatin we're finishing off with, gentlemen. We started with Nika coffee whiskey. And then we went with Eura 10 that Alex brought. And then we did Two Brewers release number 4. Yes, he does smell. He does smell t-shirts that are too small. He does send t-shirts that are a little small. I said double extra large, and I think it says extra large on here because Swami is. He knew what he was doing. He likes to see his name stretched out, and he's jealous that he doesn't have his own boobs to play with. And then what did we do?
We did the Rittenhouse.
And then we did Rittenhouse. Bottle and Bond. Ian was very surprised and fond of it.
Yep.
And
I didn't care for it, to be honest.
and Alex didn't really care for it. He said the aftertaste bothered him a little bit too oaky.
I don't know. The taste just lingered. I didn't care for it.
Drink it from the bottle. I want to know now.
No, I drink it out of my
I'm sure-
whiskey glass.
I'm sure that his Canadian Glencairn glass is throwing him off.
I think the Nika tastes a little better.
Thank you, Fine Things Fermented. Not too bad, eh? Extra large is too small because you're fat. Listen, you lanky little tattooed. You got to come to work one day up here. Oh, and don't forget, Swami, I'm going to open up. I think I should get another bottle and send a sample to everybody. We open up, and we're going to do a little review of Meat Sweat. Aquavit.
Have you ever sent out samples to a group and then had them sample it the same time you first sample it, so you could kind of do like a group online experience?
I haven't. There is. It has been done, yes, but it was through Twitter.
Okay.
Yeah, with a buddy of mine called Malt Troll. So if you're on
Yep.
Twitter, check out Malt Troll.
Mm-hmm.
He's the guy that actually helped me along with a better understanding. I love you so much,
Yep.
Malted Montreal, but only if I get to be the big spoon. Is my coworker related to the Fongs from Quadi Vidai?
No. My father's name is Dave Fong, the same as one of the co-owners of Kitty Vitty Brewery.
Kitty Vitty?
But as I always said, it's the wrong Dave.
Wrong Dave. That answer your question, find things fermented. What is Kitty Vitty?
Kitty Vitty. Kitty Vitty. Well,
Sounds like
there's nobody knows for sure the origin of the name or the correct pronunciation. Usually Kitty Vitty. Some say Quaidavida, but it's a little section of St. John's, and there is the Kitty Vitty Brewery down there, and they make some nice beers there. Dave Fong and Dave Reese were the original co-owners of it. I'm not sure if both are still involved. I can't remember, but they were engineers. But Dave's father and my grandfather were friends, but they weren't related.
Okay. So how did the Fongs end up in Newfoundland?
Okay. So
okay, he's like,
this is a story.
Never heard that. Are you guys ready for a history?
Quick history lesson. So in 1890, my great grandfather was working for a businessman in China when he was a boy, 15 years old. Ended up moving to Montreal with him, working there, and then would travel back and forth to China. Had a wife, had kids, but Canada had an exclusion act in place, so he couldn't bring his family with him. There was also a head tax. So when my grandfather was around 18, he couldn't go to Montreal to join my grandfather, but great granddad had friends in Newfoundland, and they said, send him here, we'll get him all settled. Newfoundland at the time wasn't part of Canada. So he had to pay the head tax to get into Newfoundland, and that's where he ended up settling.
Really? And that was
1928.
1928.
He was 18 years old.
So your
great grandfather was from southern China.
Southern China.
Yeah.
And your father
Grew up in Botwood.
Botwood.
Granddad ended up settling down.
Right.
I never did meet the man. He died before I was born.
So then what's your percentage?
25.
25% Chinese.
Yeah.
100% Newfie.
Absolutely. All Choofy.
Choofy.
And we could ask this guy from Ontario, but
You pretty well guess what I am.
he's probably going to tell me he's Cree Indian, which is
No.
oh no, it's Mohawk.
No Indian. No Indian in this guy.
All the guys I met from Ontario that were natives were always Mohawk or whatever, but everybody here is pretty much Cree or
Scottish, Irish, and English.
Scottish, Irish, and English.
That's what I was told, yes.
Mhm.
Couldn't tell you how much of each.
English, French, Irish, Scottish, Spanish, Welsh. That's what I was told.
Yeah.
Beats me, man.
Yeah, it doesn't matter to me.
Malton Montreal sipping a beer. Any drams tonight, Swami? Swipping a beer? Damn, Swami, you got me laughing, brother. Why are you laughing at my expense, Santa Cruzan? Because I decided to wear a very soft cotton t-shirt that has a really feminine logo on it. Hi, my name is Malted in Montreal.
I haven't been away from home that long yet, man.
Malted in Montreal. Check them out, guys, by the way. Malted in Montreal. He give you truly unbiased opinions on whiskeys, and he loves his Kilholmans and Springbanks.
Okay.
Right?
I like Springbank.
Yeah. Give them
I
a
like
try.
the Long Row a little better, but I like Springbank.
Yeah. Do you? Which ones?
Springbank 18, and I've got a bottle home that's aged in Gallo Barolo casks.
Oh. Ever had Long Row 18-year-old?
Yes,
You like it?
I did.
There's some for sale here in Fort McMurray.
No shit.
Yeah.
Sorry for swearing. I also, my first long
I'm not
row,
monetized, and I don't care.
the first long row I ever had, I was at the Bothy, and I had a glass of, I was doing a little tasting, and I had a Kalila 18, I think a Lefroy 18, and I asked Andrew to pick a third to match the other two. And he gave me the Long Row Gallo Barolo cask. It was only 8 years old, but it held its legs with the other two, no problem.
Did it?
Yeah.
Let me show you a picture of it. I'm sure that I sent it to my buddy, so you know I'm not lying. How much should a bottle of Long Row 18 be?
My wife got it for me at the Royal Mile Whiskies over in the UK, so I'm not 100% sure. Easy $100, maybe 100 pounds. I can't remember for sure.
Maybe 100 pounds.
Probably 100 pounds. Yeah.
So that's there at the liquor store.
Yeah, they don't usually make that release.
And what Malton Montreal was correcting you, it is a Hazelburn.
That's in Fort McMurray, you said, right?
Yeah, Ace Liquor. Which Ace Liquor is actually a guy that used to be a partner with Solo Liquor, and they split ways, and now he's their competition. But up here, it's anyway. Malton Montreal says Hazelburn is the Barello finish, not.
They did the Long Row was the first one I had in the Gallo Barolo. I have a Springbank right now that's done in Gallo Barolo, so they've probably done the Hazelburn as well in the Gallo Barolo.
There you go. Yeah. So there you go, Swami. It's not just the Hazelburn. Whiskey Pilgrim, how you doing? There is a man from the Netherlands.
Cool.
Good morning. Good morning. You just got out of bed, didn't you? Wow. What's your whiskey dram? You must have a breakfast dram. Extra small for Rob, he sent. Nice on the rocks. See, Malton Montreal says nice. Your name now is on the rocks. This is like Canada's version of the rock, right?
It is.
Yeah.
There's probably as many.
No, I'm talking about the actor.
Oh, the Rock.
This is our version of the Rock. From now on at work, his name is the Rock on the radio. Come in, the Rock. We need some metal.
Can you hear what the Rock got cooking?
It's cooking, yeah.
Yes, I don't want to hear what you got cooking. I can smell it. Sweden, not the Netherlands. I'm sorry, buddy. Well, you don't put any whiskey in your. They've got some nice whiskey in Sweden.
Yeah. What part of Sweden is he in?
Ask him. He can hear you.
Okay.
I want a beer too. What part? Whiskey Pilgrim. Man, Santa Cruz, and I'm going to send you a T-shirt.
I've been to Stockholm and Uppsala. That's it in Sweden.
Yeah, what were you there for?
My wife was there for a conference, and we took a bit of extra time, and we went to Uppsala, which is the short train ride away. And there was Viking burial mounds there that we went to see, and some other very neat stuff.
If you walked around or passed any playgrounds, you probably found Whiskey Pilgrim.
Cool.
That's not creepy or nothing. That's what he does for a job, I think, right? He's actually kind of like he's a teacher.
Okay.
And he just started his own whiskey channel, I believe. Mm-hmm. Is it in English? I'm sure you started some reviews. So everybody should check that out. Mm-hmm. I think you did anyway. The Alpha and the Omega, the 4 Commandments. I don't know what that is yet. Is that your stuff? I'm subscribed. How about you guys? And he looks like he's a Springbank fan.
Yep. So it would appear.
Anyway, folks, we really need to call it a night. He lives in Christina Stad. Christine.
Okay. I don't know where that is, but I'll look it up.
Did I pronounce it right?
Close.
Go ahead. Oh, he's got to get closer.
Christian Stand.
Stad. Got another bottle of Octomore. Oh, did you? Because take care, Swami, buddy. Don't worry. I will make sure your shirt stays nice and pressed. OBA coming this weekend. Awesome, because we opened it up. I don't know if you saw after the 4.5 hour live. Glad the Donairs showed up when they did. Donairs and jalapeno poppers. That buddy Josh knows how to do everything. Anyway, I got a little dribble left in here. I hope you guys too.
Nope.
Salancha, however you want to say it.
Absolutely.
I love y'all. Stay out of trouble. Get some rest. Thanks, buddies.